Hello, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and here we are now back with pack 61 and 62, I think, of the Lancaster Dambuster bomber build from Hachette, and it's all going together very nicely indeed. We've been working on the undercarriage for the last couple of magazines, so, and the props as well. If you remember, we did the props and changed the back plates. Remember, number 2, there's a back plate with a number 2 on it, and that is your outboard starboard engine. Right, so we have the magazine here. This is pack 61. So we're going to be looking at our undercarriage bay, shock absorbers and some pins and bits and pieces. You can see there we're assembling lots, so we're going to actually fit the undercarriage into there, and then I think in the next magazine we're going to be looking at the retraction motors. LL83 POD. This ton-up Lancaster served with numbers 61 and 467 squadrons, flying 118 missions and surviving. Blimey. A lot of Lancasters made it. We did lose a hell of a lot, but a lot did make it. So you can see there's all her target dates she went out on. Well, that's just the 9th of March to the 6th of June. What is it today? The 18th of March, she went to Stuttgart. There you go. So, what's that? 81 years ago today? Albert Kesselring. Although Kesselring began World War II as a Luftwaffe commander, he is chiefly remembered for his dogged defence of Italy in 43 and 44. So he was born in 1885 and he died in 1960 at the age of 74. And you can see there in pack 62 we're going to be doing the undercarriage retraction motor. So I'd assume in the next pack we're going to be getting parts to replace the parts that affected the first one we built. So you can see here we've got our lovely big little bag of pins there, box for recycling. So we've got our undercarriage bay, we've got this bag of plastic here, bag of plastic parts. There we go, we've got those, and then we've got these 2 little metal pivots. One thing I do like about this model, anything that's got any moving parts or any load, they always use metal, so you won't get any breakages probably going down the road. So we've got some CM screws there, we've got some CP screws there, and we've got a couple of tiny pins. So what we'll do, we'll get the pins out of their little baggie, like so. Bag over there. We'll get our CM screws out, except for one, because there's always going to be one spare. It's weird, like I said, they don't give you one spare pin, but they give you one spare screw on every single bag. Get out, go on. There's our spare CM screw in there, and then here's our CP screws. So we're only going to use 2 of these because they've given us 3. So I'll grab one of those. No, I'll grab one of those, not 2, and let the other 2 come out. Oh dear, how long does it take to get a bloody screw out of a bag? Come on. Dear, dear, dear. Right, I don't know why I always put these screws back in their bag, but it does give you the idea to see what they are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 4 of those, 2 of those, 2 metal brackets, 2 pins, and our plastic parts. Okay, so let's have a look. What we're going to do: take one of the hydraulic units 61C and a joint 61D on either side of the flat plate at the end of the part 61C. Check the holes are aligned, and then fit a hinge pin. In issue 24 we were given those screws, so this looks like it's symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which way around it goes. So what we'll do is, once again, we will grab a pin. Let me move this magazine out of the way so you're not being whited out. We'll grab a pin, place that in that hole, grab a shock absorber, push it through, and then give it a good squeeze. There we go, that's gone in. That didn't feel very positive. It may need a drop of super glue on it if it starts to work loose, we shall see. And then we'll repeat the same on this one. So I will grab the pin, place the pin in the hole, just like so. Whoops, that wasn't supposed to happen. Place the shock absorber in, and then push the pin through. Yeah, that pin isn't in there at all. So where's a cocktail stick? Let me push that. You can see how easy that comes out with a cocktail stick. So let's try it the other way around. So we'll try it in this way. Aha, there we go, that's much better. So we'll do the same on this one. We'll see if we can push it out. Yeah, you see how easy that came out of there? So what we'll do, we'll pull this one out. Aha, it doesn't want to come out because this side is tighter, right? So what we'll do is we will push that out of there. I've lost which side I was on now because I've dropped because the pin fell out. So we shall see. Yep, I've got it the wrong way around. So we will push that pin out. We will push that pin out like that. We will grab that pin like that and we will put it in this side. Okay, so you can see these are not, they are actually handed, so they're designed so the pin goes in one way. Right. Okay, so now we're going to take this bulkhead, and with this bulkhead, which way up is this? This way up. So you've got this flange at the back and you've got these cutouts down here. There at the bottom. And then, well, they've got keys in them anyway. We're going to put that in there. Okay, and then we're going to grab a CM screw. CM was the chrome one, wasn't it? Look at that, I didn't cut any threads in that. I'm going to grab a larger screwdriver because that little one is slipping. I don't want to ruin the screw. Okay, so that's gone in there. Now I know why I tap threads. Okay, I'm not going to get the taps out just to do one. Alright, so we'll put that together like that, put that in there, hold that together, and then that screw will go in there. There we go. So that keeps twisting it around when I tighten it. There we are. So that's gone in like that. And now what we're going to, I messed this up, didn't I, the first time round? So we're going to make sure that is that way up. Okay, so our undercarriage bay is that way up. And then this is going to drop down this way up on the inside like that. Okay. And then we're going to turn it over, and with a couple of CP screws, we're going to, is that correct? So that's going in that way up, that's going down in, and that's going that way out. I don't want to mess it up again. I don't know why we've got countersunk screws here. But they're plastic screws, so don't go graunching them up, guys. So that's going to go in there like that. Okay. So that's all done up, and then we'll turn the page, and we are going to attach these two legs here into those two holes there. So once again, we've got CM screws. I should have tapped the threads, but I haven't. Okay, so don't worry about where anything else goes. All we're worried about at the moment, what I'm going to do is get myself armed with a screw. Get the screwdriver loaded, and then when we get one of these in, like so, just get it to bite, and then we'll do the same on this one here. Should have got myself loaded first. We'll get that one into there. There we go, that's going to go in there. And then we've got to make sure we're going to get these legs to go into the shock absorber bodies like that. I'm sure you're supposed to put them in first, but there is enough movement there to actually get them to go in. Come on, you know you want to. There you go. Right, so that's gone in like that. So there's going to be our folding undercarriage mechanism, just like so. Okay, so there we are. So that's pack 61. Let's have a look at pack 62. We're going to be doing this motor bit and everything. So let's have a look at pack 62. Get the bag cut open. Put that over there. Put the parts over there. We'll put that out of the way there. Turn the light off for our magazine. And we'll have a look at this, pack 62. So there's all the parts we're going to be dealing with. There's the assembly instructions. Okay, Lancaster NX665. Where does NX65 live? It's a New Zealand one, is it? I keep hearing it mentioned. So NX665 was delivered to the RAF on the 30th of June 1945. Too late to see service. Nevertheless, after the war, the aircraft flew a total of 2,340 hours before taking its place as a static display in New Zealand. And there she is. Ain't she beautiful? Bombing Germany's canal network. Oh dear. Looks like my back garden after Dottie's had an hour in there. In 1944 to 45, Bomber Command allocated large numbers of Lancaster bombers to attack Nazi Germany's canal network. There we go. And then in the next part we're going to be working on the engine firewall and the engine motor again. So we'll have some fun with that one, undoing screws and tightening them in certain sequences and stuff. Right, so let's have a look at what we've got in here. We'll get the magazine out of the way. We'll get the bag cut open. We'll get the light turned on. And we'll get the parts out of the box. The box over there. So we've got in here, we've got a little motor with its cabling pre-attached. We've got some plastic parts in here, which is cool. Got a little gear there and some brackets and stuff, the motor holder. Got some DP screws here, so I'm going to try and hold one and get the others out. That was better. Now we've got two, there we go. We've got some DP screws there, and we've got some FP screws here. So we will just grab one, get those others out. Come on. Come on. There we go. That would be a lot easier if the camera wasn't on. Right, so we've got our nice shiny, what were they, FP screws, and the CP screws, or DP screws are the black ones. Okay, so take the assembly from the previous issue and hinge it open as shown so that you can access the bar at the top of the shock absorber struts. So we're going to take this and we're going to hinge it open like this so we can get to this bar. And then we're going to take the cog 62D and fit it onto the side of the shock absorber 58 as indicated. So this is going to go on there, and as you can see there's a couple of flats on there, so we're going to turn it until the flats engaged. So there we go, that gear's on there now, ready to lift the undercarriage. Take the frame part 62A and fit the two arms, so this is 62A, we're going to fit the two arms beneath the bar on part 58A. Note the position of the raised ribs, highlighted in light green. The cog fits into a slot in part 62A, blue arrow. So this is going to go like that, I'm guessing, yeah? Okay, so that's going to sit like that on there. So we'll just hold that there and let the undercarriage rest. This is going to be quite awkward. And then we're going to take this motor bracket, and that's going to go down over the top. That was the right way up. That goes like that. Okay, and then this is going to drop down over the top like that. Okay, it looks a bit odd. You hold it together, sandwiching that undercarriage leg between the two, and you really should have armed myself. So we've got an FP screw there, which was the bright one, wasn't it? So I'm going to try and get that to stay in that hole. Oh, you swine. There we go. So that should be enough just to hold it in there. Okay, so now we can take our hands off without risk of it all falling to pieces. And there we go. So that one's going into there. I'll grab a smaller screwdriver. Just nip these up. Remember, this is plastic, guys. Don't graunch it. And they're countersunk. You'll split the plastic if you don't rip the threads out of the other part. So just be careful not to go over tightening things. So that's that done. So it's showing you in the instructions here how it should look. You can see there how it should look. Okay. Then we are going to, with this open like this, we're going to take our motor, and I'm always aware of which way around they've got it. And they've got the red wire. Okay, red wire's on the top, so I'm going to put that way round. Okay, and then fit the motor into the recess, and then the tabs on the other side of the motor fit into the slots in the part. The cog must engage with the gear. Yes, it does. And now we are going to hinge the wheelbase section down so the panel at the front fits over the motor 62C. Okay, so that's going to go like that. And we've got pins and screws. So there we go, that's going to go like that. I'm going to push that down on. There we go, that's gone together. That's quite a tight fit. It feels wrong, but it's all symmetrical, so it's got to go together. And then you can see now what we're going to do is fit 4 screws, 2 in there and 2 in there. So we'll grab our screwdriver and we will put a screw in there, just a couple of turns. Always just put them in a couple of turns until you've got them all in, just to make sure everything's aligned, especially with plastic parts, because you don't want to be winding screws in and out, wrecking the threads or pulling out whatever thread you've just cut into it with the self-tapping screw. Okay, so once they're all in, you know everything's aligned, you can then go in and just nip them down. And it's good engineering practice anyway, guys, whatever you're working on, always just put the screws in lightly first. You can hear those pins going into those holes, they're that tight. There we go. We can see that our undercarriage has got movement in it. It's got play. So there we go. Fix the wheel bay in place with the 4 screws. A motor has been fitted to the undercarriage assembly. So there we go. So that has been packs 61 and 62. So now we can, they're showing that it's tied up in a knot there. So what we'll do is we'll tie that up in a knot like that, which will probably prove to be an utter waste of time. The other thing you can do, guys, if you want to make your wires look nice and tidy, is take something like a screwdriver and wrap the wire around like so. Okay, and then just slide the screwdriver out, and there's your wire there all nice and tidy and kept out of the way. So there we are. Right, see you next month for pack 63, 4, 5 and 6, and hopefully we'll get the parts that make all this work. So see you all soon. Bye for now.